Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. This is probably our third episode during quarantine, so I hope everyone is well. I have a special guest with us today. Somewhat special. No, I'm playing.
She's special. Stop.
A special guest. I will just let you introduce yourself first, and then we can go into what the topic is going to be about for today.
Okay, my name is Jasmine. This is very new to me, by the way. I've never been on live before, so I'm a bit shaky. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm an advocate of Black Lives Matter, and I think we all should be, really. So that's the topic that we are going to be addressing today.
Yeah, so I was supposed to introduce the topic, but seeing as she's doing it, it's fine, but whatever. Yeah, so as you can imagine, a lot of things have been going on in the world today. You know, last month there was a whole load of talk about, you know, the whole coronavirus and the fact that we're in a pandemic, and like a lot more other things have come up, which has made us think, wow, 2020 is really out to try and get us. But it just seems as though it's never ending. But one thing I really wanted to bring to attention, which is probably affecting a majority of us, is, you know, I think a lot of us did see the video of George Floyd, and if you haven't seen the video, you've definitely heard his name and what is currently going on with Black Lives Matter, the movement that's happening not only just in the US, but it has come to the UK, a few places in Europe, just practically is a world-known issue right now. And I think it's important for us to talk about it because, you know, sometimes we shy away from difficult conversations, and it's not new and it's not news that it's affecting each and every single one of us in our different ways, whether that is emotionally, whether obviously a lot of it has brings a lot of anger towards the surface, and I think it's important as Christians that we discuss that because, you know, the Bible talks about us not being quick to anger, and obviously it's not been a quick thing to anger because this has been oppression with our people for several years, decades, centuries even. And I just, you know, want us to get deep down, be honest, transparent, talk about it. I really want you guys to get involved in the conversation. Let's all share our experiences. If you have faced an experience with this matter, please do comment. Whether I'll be checking YouTube and Facebook. So please do let us know what your experiences are, what your thoughts and what your views are. Any type of advice that you'll have for Christians who may be feeling a type of way towards what is currently going on. But yeah, I think what I would want to start off with is, as a special guest, I kind of want to get your views on what's currently going on, how you feel about it. Just take it from the top, from when we saw that video on... Was it? I think it was like the 25th of May, so it was some weeks back, but yeah.
It was really hard for me to watch. I couldn't watch the full video. I don't know if you did. It's almost as if we're desensitized to this because it happens so often, but it was like when it happened, it wasn't oh, here we go, it's another one. It was more like, this is enough. Like we can't be quiet. We can't just let this continue to happen because like there's so much tension. Racially, we're dealing with so much racial tension at the moment, and we can't just let this continue.
Sorry.
I thought I was hearing myself. So, yeah, we're dealing with a lot of racial tension in society today due to a lot of police brutality, and it's just enough because these people aren't getting prosecuted for it. They're just going away. It's like you're just getting away with murder. You're getting away with harming us, and just like it's a constant thing. We've dealt with it. Our parents have dealt with it, the generations before have dealt with this, and it's when will it stop? Because you're killing us, getting away with it, and we are constantly being shown that our lives do not matter. And that is the point of the whole Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
And it's also very hurtful when, you know, you hear all lives matter and, you know, people try to dismiss it, and this has been happening for so long. You can't dismiss what's happening today in society. You can't dismiss our pain. You can't silence us because if we don't talk about it, we don't address it, nothing gets changed. So it's, you know, the whole George Floyd thing has led to a wave of protests globally, which is, it's bittersweet because it's hard seeing us having to fight and scream and argue just for equality. And I saw something on social media. Someone said that, you know, we should be lucky that we're asking for equality and not revenge. And that's something that I really thought about, because it's hard not to be angry as a Christian, as you said, because we have to be level-headed when we're dealing with this. We have to stop the looting and do more of protesting. We need to, like, we can't lose our focus. We need to remember what we're doing, why we're protesting, and we want results. And I have seen that there has been a few results. We have some legislations have been changed, and a lot of laws that I didn't understand why they were put in place anyway. So, you know, a lot of the way police actually drain civilians. And it's crazy how it's only now they've said, you know, you're not allowed to strangle and suffocate. And why wasn't that in place before? Yeah. So it's just hard having to argue to be treated equally, and it's hard. It's very draining right now. It's even draining for me to talk about it. Yeah. But we have to have these conversations. We have to get through it. We have to educate ourselves. We have to spread the word and raise awareness, because if not, that's how these petitions aren't being signed. And by the way, sign the petitions. Donate where you can. Share information where you can. Help where you can, because I know not a lot of people can go out and protest. A lot of people are still scared of coronavirus. So a lot of people are on the fence of protesting, but I think the protesting has helped. I am happy when I see people out there protesting. It does make me see peacefully. It does make me see that there's still a sense of unity, and people are fighting for us. And people who aren't Black are still fighting for us. And, you know, it warms my heart to see that there are changes being made. It's hurtful that it's taken this long and it's taken this much, and so many lives have been lost in order for this to happen. But it is happening, and changes are happening, and that just. Refreshing, you know? Yeah. Just carrying on from what you've said, and I think one of the main arguments that we have, well, what we first started seeing when this whole movement started a couple of weeks ago, is the whole "but all lives matter" and etc. No one is discrediting that's all lives matter. What we are saying is that we, you know. Can I just jump in? All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. Like,
basically, but this is what I'm saying. We do understand that every life does matter. It doesn't make it different, you know, if it was an Asian man that was laying on the floor, if it was a white man laying on the floor, etc. What we are saying is that this is an oppression that has been happening with our people for a very long time. Yeah. And yes, I am Christian, but I am also Black. And I know the history behind, you know, what happened a few years ago. Well, sorry, centuries ago. However, it is very disheartening to see people discredit or even trying to minimize or, you know, just dilute what is currently going on. It's not something that can be swept under the rug. It's not something which is an easy conversation to have, but it needs to be had. I think there's even just seeing on social media, and sometimes it's kind of like, I just don't even want to open Instagram. I don't want to open Facebook. I don't want to open anything, because it's so crazy to see how evil people can be in this world. Right. And I know that, you know, we've been warned as Christians that there's evil in the world. We all know that. But when you're seeing it live and direct on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media, of evil like taking place,
just murder, like
just complete.
We are watching this first.
Can you imagine, like, what your children's gonna say when they see these type of videos? Like, it's crazy, and it's hard because it's an emotional topic. It's easy to get kind of wound up about the situation. However, you need to remain in who you are, and just, you know, like the Bible says, guard your heart. And I got to a point sometime last week where it was hard. I mean, it got to a point you just don't want to open social media. You don't want to see certain things.
It's watch the news
because it's just a lot of negativity. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't watch it and we don't need to see it or we don't need to talk about it. Yeah, but sometimes you need to guard your heart, your mind, your ears, your eyes, everything, because it got to a point where it was just so depressing to see people still fighting, like, and not only was it just the George Floyd thing, because this is not the first time that this has happened, but it's all the other videos that resurfaced that never made the headlines. So many different ones that were like, you know what, this is the exact same thing we are currently going through, but now it's only just being brought to the surface. And I think it's probably someone was like, you know what, no, this is enough, this is going viral. And people made sure it went viral. Other things did go viral. However, it was always the thing where, you know, I guess it gets forgotten about after a couple of weeks. People go on a rampage about it for a bit and then it's forgotten about. Or, you know, it's always played down. And I think that is where people have kind of drawn the line. And I'm definitely someone who's, you know, if you want to protest, that's fine. If it's a peaceful protest, that's even better. However, I'm not the one to say, you know, fist for like blow for blow when it comes to this, because that's what they want us to do. They want us as Black people to get wound up, to be aggressive, to show the stereotype or, you know, the animal type of stereotype they have with us. And yeah, no, I'm not really about it, but I just wanted to clear that up. All lives do matter, but Black lives need to matter first. And that's just point blank. And yeah, I'll kind of let you say if you want to add something to that.
You touched on something about, you know, speaking on Black Lives Matter and then, you know, people forgetting about it. Like, this isn't a trend. This is something that has been going on for centuries. Like, and we can't just, you know, get riled up when something happens and then forget about it. And then next week we're posting other things, we're going about our lives, because whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, these things are still happening. Even if it's not being recorded, even if it's not going viral, these things are still happening. And we still want justice. Those families who are losing their other family members, they still want justice. The pain doesn't just go away for them. And it's hard to just detach yourselves and think, oh, but this is happening over in America, it's not happening to me. As long as you're Black, this is affecting you. Yeah. As long as, like, because racism is everywhere. This country is racist. We can't act like, you know, we can't be oblivious to it. These things are still happening, whether you choose to think about it or not. That's why we have to keep going and we have to keep talking about it. We have to keep donating, raising awareness, signing petitions, and making sure that they are looking into these murders. Because we just need justice. It's not right. Yeah. It's just not right, because I don't get emotional. Yeah, it's just really hurtful to see, and I just don't want people to just get angry and just forget about it. I think we need to use that anger and actually be productive and actually make sure that there is change, and to actually put these people, make sure that they go away for what they've done.
Yeah, all right. So just getting voice that we are having technical issues. So we are going to stop the stream and try and start over again. Hopefully we don't have any more issues after this. So we'll be back shortly.